Let's talk about crocheting a chunky beanie. This is a different type of yarn than I was using in our basic beanie demonstration. You can see that here is the yarn I used to kind of show you the basic beanie. You can see the width. And then here is chunky yarn, also officially known as bulky yarn. So you can see the difference there. This is a lot thicker, and you'll know it's bulky yarn when you look at the label and it says 5 bulky, and it says here to use an 8mm US L11 size hook, which is what I have right here. I always use these two together. These two are the best combination, whereas I will use a much smaller hook. Where did it go? Over here. This is the hook that I will use for regular worsted weight yarn. So you can see the difference here between these two hooks. This is quite a bit thicker. So the nice thing for you, if you are in a hurry to crochet some beanies, is that this works up a lot faster. That's why I use this yarn in my pattern called the 1 hour beanie, because really you can crochet this yarn in an hour, or a hat in an hour with this yarn. I can almost do a hat, just like a basic beanie, in an hour with worsted weight yarn, but I could definitely do it in probably like 45 minutes or less with this yarn if I really focus. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about how it works up. The pattern is a little bit different for like a basic chunky beanie than a basic worsted beanie, just because the yarn is thicker, so you're going to do less stitches to achieve the same sizing. I'm not going to use this yarn because I'm not going to use this skein, because if you'll notice, this kind of, see how it's a little bit fuzzy? I think you can kind of see against my finger. I do like this yarn, but it kind of will get like frayed and fuzzy if you use it like and then take it apart and then use it again. Like if you have to restart a project a couple times, it might start to get a little worse for wear. So anyway, I'm just going to save that yarn and use this as a demo for you. I'm leaving myself a nice long tail so I can sew it in at the end. And doing my usual, you start it in the exact same way. Whoops, I just split my yarn there. You start it in the exact same way. You're just using a bigger hook and fatter yarn, so it takes a little getting used to at first. If you've, gotten used to working with worsted weight yarn, then chunky yarn's fun though. It's really soft, and it's very satisfying that it works up so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I lose count all the time, especially when I'm talking. Oh, somehow this magic circle got so big, but whoop, just pull it tight, close just like that. So then you're just going to keep going, in the round here where we're making that spiral. Oh my goodness me, I can't get that. There we go. Can't get that stabbed through here. And we're going to do, you can kind of start to see, where's my stitch marker? You can kind of start to see already like how much bigger this is just in the first round. And now we're starting on the second round. So you only need to, we increase for 12 rounds in a basic beanie, but in this chunky beanie, you only need to increase for 8 rounds. So you're getting to the point where you have 48 stitches a round instead of 72 in the worsted weight beanie. So, that's why it works up so fast, because you're doing way less stitches because the yarn is just fatter and chunkier. So that's what it looks like in the first couple rounds here. I have it in the pattern, I believe, to do rounds 1 through 4 and then measure it, check your gauge and see that you're doing it correctly. And then you just follow from there. With this chunky yarn, it's just a matter of getting used to the feeling of it and practicing a little bit. And just know that maybe your first time using it, your stitches might be a little bit more uneven, but it's just fun. It's practice and it'll work up really fast. So if it doesn't turn out perfect the first time, just rip it out and do it again. It's no big deal. Bulky yarns can be different in different brands. So again, you're going to want to check your gauge. If your gauge is off of mine, you're going to want to watch the troubleshooting videos to figure out how to adjust it, because I feel like there's actually a lot of variation in the actual size of yarns that are labeled as bulky. So it could help if you like this Charisma yarn, you want to give it a shot. Since that's what I use to design these patterns, that might make it easier for you as well to use the same one. But you don't have to. You can definitely use the resources I have here in this course to help you adjust if you are using a bulky yarn that's just a little bit thicker or thinner than Charisma. So any questions on the chunky beanie, you can definitely post here and I will help you. And then we'll move on to the next fun variation.